great panel of judges that will be helping us at the end of the event on some free posing for everybody. First and foremost, before I forget, Katie Miller. Give it up for Katie, she's our bikini pro. Angela Coleman, she's also gone into the bikini world from figure. She's also a bikini pro. Give it up for Angela. Our figure pro today is Idalia, who drove in from Kansas City to help us out today. We appreciate that. Give it up for Idalia. Our classic physique pro, Kevin Ford. Our men's physique pro, Ryan Henderson. Our NPC national ranked bodybuilder. Let's give it up for Big Ray. Our fitness pro, who just gave birth to a lovely little baby. Give it up for Shannon. And Shannon, you're going to be good with the women's physique? Yeah. All right. She's a hard charger. She's going to help us out with women's physique posing as well today. So, real quickly, as I mentioned, we do this every year. Our agenda as such, we start off with introductions as we've just done. We're going to talk about the history of the NPC and IFBB, and I think that's very, very important to let you know where we've come from. Obviously, we are the largest and biggest and the oldest fitness federation for bodybuilding in the world. We are the federations that put on the Olympia, the Nationals, the USAs, and all the great state and regional shows that you see.
Thank you, Jack, and thank you, Ann, for bringing me out here. And thanks for coming out in the midst of all this weather, and that was crazy last night. So the NPC started back in the 80s, and Jim Mannion already at that point used to run what was called the AAU. The AAU was called the Amateur Athletic Union, and it was the umbrella over every sport you can imagine. Underneath the Amateur Athletic Union was the basketball committee, the swimming committee, the tennis committee, and the physique committee. And Jim ran that for them. However, what you did was you spent $25 on your card and you competed in shows. There was no newsletter, no magazine, really no exposure. No exposure came through the magazines, which were located in Southern California. So basically, at that point in time, anyone who wanted to do anything in the sport, we all fled for Southern California. As time went on, Jim decided to take this to another level, and he made a deal with the Weeders that he would create what was called the National Physique Committee, leave the AAU basically, and the hookup was, in order to get into the Olympia, you had to go through the NPC. That's what drove it in a nutshell. We were a bodybuilding organization only. Sandy Rinaldi, now Sandy Williamson, was Sandy Rinaldi back then. She ran a women's bodybuilding organization. They wound up coming on board and gave us then women's bodybuilding. And time went on, we had fitness came into the ranks, and then fitness became difficult, as you can imagine. Athletes get a little older, they get a little heavier, joints take a beating. Jim decided girls wanted to compete in something. So he created the figure division. And everyone to a person, the people above him in the IFBB, not the Weeders, but a couple of other people, said that will never work. What are you going to do? Have these girls come out and do 4-quarter turns? The writers called it the no talent division. They tortured us. And I can tell you that to this day, when we're in Chicago for the Junior Nationals and 25 girls walk out in the figure division, we lean down and go, "Hey Jim, that figure division is never going to work."
So we're going to spend a lot of time with that at the end of the workshops today on those details. And for all the folks that are here for the first time that have never competed, I highly recommend you come to our end of March show, the first Forum St. Louis Pro Midwest Championship, because you're gonna see 500 athletes on stage in every category. You're gonna see novice, you're gonna see open, you're gonna see masters, and then you're gonna see pros. And there's something for everybody. Just in the last 6 months, we've made some changes to broaden our brand and to become even bigger and better. And for all the new folks that are here today, some important names that you should be familiar with that are synonymous with the NPC and IFBB, because they started with us. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, Corey Everson, Rachel McLeish, started and continue to compete in the NPC and IFBB. And we're proud of that. We think our brand is the best. We put on a good performance. We cater to the athletes.
As you can imagine, there are an alphabet of organizations across the entire country. What makes ours work in no uncertain terms is Jim Mannion. He's got the drive and the foresight to keep this thing going and keep it growing, and decides what will work and what is not such a good idea. We've now gone international, and that's exploded. We thought there might be 20 to 25 events over in Europe and internationally this year. There are now 65. In men's classic, for those of you who don't know, for every inch of height, like for a 5'7" guy can only weigh a certain amount. 5'8", you can weigh a certain amount, maximum. Anything under that works, however, you can't go over that maximum. The reason we devised that was to kind of create a certain look. Less density, a more streamlined look, a more streamlined bodybuilder, like the classic guys in the 70s. Our fitness division, our women's fitness. What we're trying now is that this year in the NPC amateur division, in fitness, it's only judged on routines. No more swimsuit division in fitness. We're trying to draw girls back into fitness because there's a whole ton of girls that can do phenomenal routines. They're just not comfortable on stage in a two-piece with heels. So we'll try to address that and see what happens. The only contest you can compete in as a green card holder is the North American Championships. That's an international event. We've also changed the number of folks who qualify for national level events. In the past, top 5 qualified for the Junior USA, Junior Nationals, Team Universe, and North America. And they would qualify through the entire following year. We've now pulled that back to top 2 in an open division qualify for national level events. So if you're in an open division, you take top 2, you qualify for any national level event through 2019. The folks who qualified last year in 17, they're good to go. If you took top 3, top 4, top 5 last year, and you qualified for North America and all those shows, you're good to go through this year.
So Pro-Tan is now sponsoring all of the Midwest shows. I am a fitness girl sponsored by Pro-Tan. Skin prep is the most important thing. Exfoliate, shave, no deodorant, no perfume, nothing. Your skin will oxidize and turn green, as I learned. You can also wash with Dawn soap. That is also a good one.
So the first thing we see is those shoes. And our eyes are attracted to that instead of to you. Clear shoes, no platform. The height doesn't matter to us. We could care less. We have no idea if they're 4, 4.5, or 5. More to the point, you have to be able to walk in them. Really relaxed stance, like that. As you do a quarter turn to the right. Good job. Chest up. Chin up. Good. Now rotate towards me. Good. So simply by rotating his body, kind of create a side V taper. Now this relaxed round is not going to win the contest, but you sure as hell don't want to shoot yourself in the foot either. So every time you're on stage, please be at your best. On side chest, the big mistake made is guys squat down too far, thinking that they're going to make their hamstrings look better. It might help their hamstrings a little bit, but they've diminished their height. And it's the big picture we're looking at. Side chest, don't squat down too far. Side chest, good. Good, exactly. Just like that. Good. Relax and face the rear. So, right arm up. And then you walk over with authority right there. And in the figure division, the only thing you have to do in your presentation is a front stance. You start with that. You must start with your front stance. You then have the option of doing 3 model turns. Entirely up to you. Use them or not. If you don't like one side, don't do that side. If you can't get your back stance together, don't show the judges. Let them find that out later. In our men's physique division, we'd like to see some muscle, not overdone to the point that the judges, when he walks out, if the judges go, this guy's a bodybuilder. We allow you a front, back, front. The key here, though, is do a great front stance like that. Now, these things you don't have to have your hand on your hip. Entirely up to you. 1001, 1002, face the rear. I personally advise keeping your hair down. You can always swipe it away on the rear stance. But it gets back to that idea of keeping it down can soften your look sometimes. Especially in women's physique when things start to get a little bit harder than figure. Okay. So there are 5 poses. The first one, there's a couple different ways to do it. Front double bicep. Perfect. All right, so let's talk about what not to do first. Jack talked before about what we don't want to see. Face the rear, ladies. All right, so here's the deal. Spread the word to your bikini friends. Done correctly, her posture is right on the money. We would love to see your posture just like that. You can refer to that as in good taste. Like this is not. And that will get you into the 3rd call out in a heartbeat. Walk back to the front line, and here it is. Exactly. So switch it up, get aggressive, and bang, here you come at the judges. It'll grab their eye in a second. Quarter turn to the right. Face the rear, please. Chin up. Quarter turn. Okay. Stay right there. Don't move. So just take a look. We're talking about details, right? That's one big body. However, watch this. Sit back. The other way, it seemed like it was tipping over. Now you sit back on your feet. It's more balanced. And then your favorite classic pose. Relax. So when we say favorite classic pose, they can do anything except a most muscular. Lots of variations, and they all work, especially on that body. My man. Where you get ready for the Arnold? 3 weeks. Yeah. 3 weeks out. The show should be tomorrow.
843-7727 for some more Protan stuff. Come on. Yay! Here she comes. Here she comes. Miss America. 7723. Give him Protan stuff. We got Protan stuff. No, here. Here, you got this. You got this. Stop.